And we are live from the Parliamentary Office Complex building. That's the Job 600 complex here in Parliament House. And this is The Chamber, the only program on television that brings you all you need to know about the happenings in the legislative arm of government, that's Parliament. And this week, we'll be bringing you the very best of what's been happening in Parliament the week before the 2020 budget is presented. My name is Mensah Opoku. Stay with us. This week has been a mixed bag. All sort of issues have come up on the floor of Parliament and also in the corridors and conference rooms and other facilities of Parliament. A lot has actually come up within this week. It's not been dull at all. For more on what has been happening this week, join me on this recap of the major events in Parliament. In the 2010-2011 crop season, Ghana attained the mark of producing 1 million metric tons of cocoa. Since then, Cocoa Board has been unsuccessful in replicating that birth. To enhance the prospects of the sector, Cocoa Board, through a government guarantee, has sourced a $600 million loan from the African Development Bank. Chairman of the Finance Committee of Parliament, Dr. Mark Esibebo, outlined to the House the structure of the facility and its utilization.
The trade finance facility is to enable Cocoa Board obtain funds to finance cocoa productivity enhancement programs with the aim of increasing Ghana's national output to an annual average of 1 million tons, whilst also doubling average productivity from the current 450 kilograms per hectare to about 1,200 kilograms per hectare.
Speaker after speaker from the minority pointed out what they felt was the wrongful use of the funds.
Mr. Speaker, they are saying that they are going to select the farms and then map the farms. And that alone will take almost $2 million. And then after that, Mr. Speaker, this is very interesting. After selecting the farms, map the farms, they will say that they will prepare the farm for pollination. What goes into this preparation? And they have allocated another $2 million for preparation of the farm for pollination. Are you going to number the trees? What are you going to do with it?
Mr. Speaker, I'm demanding that the Minister for Finance comes back to this House with an elaborate financial expenditure plan as to how he intends to spend 3,239 million Ghana cedis within 6 months.
But the majority stuck to their guns.
Mr. Speaker, chocolate is very important food, commodity. It is good. We should encourage our children and old men like me and Honorable Raggi to be eating chocolate every day. Yes, we should be eating chocolate. It's a good food. It enhances your health.
So number 12 expose by Anas Arimeyao Anas shook the very foundations of Ghana football. The principal character in the documentary, former GFA boss Kwesi Nyantakyi, even before the public airing of the work, was under investigation following a complaint from the president. The Attorney General Gloria Kufu appeared before Parliament to answer questions on the status of the case. She told the House the death of Tiger Eye PR investigator Ahmed Swali had stalled the case.
Mr. Speaker, eventually, the documents requested from the police as well as the updated report from Tiger Eye were submitted by the police in May 2019. Unfortunately, Mohammed Swali, a member of Tiger Eye and a principal witness with whom the prosecutors directly engaged in the preparation of the case, was tragically killed on 16th May 2019. The death of the journalist unavoidably stalled the preparation of the case. The review of the docket, Mr. Speaker, has since been completed and the presentation of the case in court is imminent.
She, however, assured the prosecution of the matter will begin within the next 2 weeks.
Mr. Speaker, we are dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Give and take a week or a fortnight, the matter may be presented. But I need say that the filing is in our control, but the fixing and actual presentation is in the control of the court.
Still in the House, the minority briefed the press on what they termed the undue delay in the release of the District Assembly's Common Fund. Deputy Minority Chief Whip Ahmed Ibrahim had these words for the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta.
We gave you a budget for 12 months. You have spent only 3 months, and you are coming for another budget for 1 year. This is highly unjustifiable. So this is why we are saying that he must redeem himself before he comes here come Wednesday.
The 2020 budget will be presented to Parliament by the Finance Minister on behalf of the President on Wednesday, 13th November. This was announced by Majority Leader Oseiche Mensah Opoku.
The Speaker, the Honourable Minister for Finance is scheduled to attend upon the House on Wednesday, the 13th of November 2019, to present the budget statement and economic policy of the government for the year ending 31st December 2020. The Speaker, it is important to re-emphasize the fact that in accord with Article 179(1), the financial policy and budget statement of government for the financial year 2020 is going to be presented on behalf of the President of the Republic on Tuesday, the 13th of November.
Ahead of the presentation of the 2020 budget next week, members of the Finance Committee have been sharing their expectations.
For me personally, I want to see the budget address issues relating to our roads, health insurance. Those are two key issues that I want to see tackled. Left to me alone, the road fund, the National Health Insurance Fund should not be capped.
For now, if you look at the challenge that we are having now with our debt stock, it's essentially driven from the fiscal side. So we have to address the revenue shortfall. The other challenge we are getting is that the government, as a result of that, is virtually crowding out the private sector from the credit market.
Most members of Parliament are currently without personal protection. For many, this is worrying, considering how much the state spends to conduct a by-election when an MP loses his or her life. In recent times, the killing of former Ebuakwa North MP J.B. Dankwedu shook the country. MPs then intensified calls for their security to be made a priority. Over the weekend, Nshaesu legislator Kennedy Kankam was attacked at his residence in Kumasi. Majority Leader Oseiche Mensah Opoku brought the matter to the floor of Parliament.
According to him, what saved his life was the fact that when they entered, they met the wife breastfeeding the baby. They looked at the baby and the mother and told him that they had been sent to kill him, but looking at that small child that the wife was breastfeeding, he felt if they killed him, it would be difficult an enterprise for the lady to bring up the small kids. They took everything and stuffed his Land Cruiser with the stolen items and zoomed off. But just so to register the point that they had been sent to kill him, just when they left his room, they fired bullets, perhaps to send the signal to whoever might have sent them that they fired and perhaps missed it.
Other members of the House renewed calls for police protection.
So, Mr. Speaker, I think that fortunately, graciously, the Interior Minister has just walked in. Fortunately, he's also one of us. I remember when he was here as the Deputy Minority Leader. We've all had time to complain about this. I know it has to take a decision by the whole government to be able to do it. But we hope that he can make a strong case. Let's not wait to lose another member.
Guarantee further the safety and security of members of Parliament. When we travel outside Accra sometimes, it is even difficult to have some facilities available to members of Parliament. We are honorable men and we should be treated with that honor.
The Interior Minister promised to provide the requested protection for the MPs only if they provide their residential addresses, a move most MPs opposed. In a nutshell, this is what your parliamentarians, people who voted into parliament, have been doing in the course of this week by way of the major highlights. We'll take a break here. When I come back, there is more on the chamber right here on Citi TV. You're welcome back from that break. This is from the floor segment where we look into detail the issues, the major issues that have come up on the floor of the House in the course of the week under review. This week, arguably, the biggest matter has got to do with the approval of the $600 million loan facility from the African Development Bank for the Cocoa Productivity Enhancement Project. I sat down with two members of Parliament individually. First, Chairman of the Food, Agriculture and Cocoa Affairs Committee, Member of Parliament for Kwamang Nsuta Beposo, the Honorable Kwame Asafo-Adjei, and later the Honorable Member of Parliament for Dwaboso in the Western North region. That's predominantly about 70% of people in that constituency are cocoa farmers. The Honorable Kwabena Minta Kando, that's his constituency. I sat down with them separately to look at the matters that have come up with regards to this loan, which was approved by Parliament this week. This is from the floor. So in 2018, we did some 750,000 metric tons, or thereabouts in that region, almost 800,000. That's a far cry of what seems to be the topmost tonnage that Ghana has had in the past few years. That was in 2010, 2011, when we hit the 1 million ton mark. As early as as late as 2016, we did 960,000. It looks like the pendulum of cocoa production has been swinging in terms of the tonnage. Is that the reason why government is going for this behemoth of a loan, $600 million?
Traditionally, export commodity is an important role in the development of the economy in this country. And cocoa is major source of revenue for government. It is also a major source of revenue. It is also a major source of household incomes. So if we want our economy to grow, Ghanaian economy controlled by Ghanaians, cocoa, this should be our number one priority, not oil. Okay? So if, like you said, the data that you provided, if in the time cocoa starts to decline, there should be a concern for every country, for every government, for every Ghanaian, and for any individual. So the need to resuscitate the cocoa sector is vital for the development of this country. So, like you said, there was a time when during President Kufuor, cocoa production was less than 300,000 tons, and he's decided to do something about it. Introduction of mass spraying, new improved seedlings given to farmers, and of course good price, because pricing is a major incentive which helps people to get into that business. If your price is right, people will always fall into that area. If your price system is wrong, people will not like to do business. So anytime cocoa price is good, you want to do business. If it's not good, they can jump. They can go elsewhere. Go for maize or roots and tubers.
Or even smuggle it outside.
No, not to smuggle. Yeah, they can smuggle, but I don't want to go there. So your first priority is to set your price right. And also, like you said, enhancement and productivity. And what do you mean by enhancement? To me, this is not new. What you see, when our friends from the other side say, to me, they accept it, because when they all start speaking, Nobody said I did not support the motion.
Nobody. But what is the object of this law?
Let me tell you. Do it. I'll refer you to. I said this is not new, right?
Yeah.
Good. This is I'm holding in my hand 2019 financial year budget statement. This is coming from the president, read by the Minister for Finance. And what did he say for cocoa? I'll read some portions with lack of time. They were shouting of cocoa pages 112, 113, 114 talks of cocoa. Now, paragraph 523. I'll not waste your time much. 524. He said, Mr. Speaker, the current oil price still remains low after declining by about a third in the years just ended 2017-2018 season. Despite the significant decline, government maintained the producer price at 7,600 per ton to ensure that farmers did not unduly suffer losses of income. Cocoa board purchased 904,000 metric tons of cocoa during 2017-2018 season. That's what he just mentioned. In the current 2018-2019 crop season, government maintained a producer price of 7,600 per ton and plans to purchase 900 tons of cocoa. See, 900,000 tons of cocoa. Now, the government has set the price right, okay? In talking about productivity, he said the Ministry of Mr. Speaker, the ministry is vigorously promoting cocoa consumption, both domestically and internationally.
Let's not digress.
No, I'm not digressing. You want to know the justification for this loan, and I'm saying our approval given for this loan. Once you approve this budget, 2019 budget, you have already approved this.
But if
loan.
you have approved all of this, why are you going to approve another loan?
Listen, it was a component. I'm telling you what the money was meant for. Look, let me show you. Artificial pollination. Cocoa Board will continue the hand pollination program, which started in June 2017.
So that justifies over $40 million for pollination.
Not for pollination alone.
Hand pollination.
No.
Retraining of people.
Yes.
We are going for a loan and we are using more than $40 million to.
So what is wrong? For not 1 year, for 5 years. You are engaging over 30,000 people now, from 30,000 to 57,000.
In this day and age of technology, should we even be doing this manually? Getting people to do this pollination manually and expending tax dollars?
You know what it does? You know what it does?
$40 million.
You know what it does? You know what it does? It creates jobs. Manual, it creates jobs. If you go to high tech, only few people. We want to create jobs for our people. What's wrong with that?
Nobody has a problem.
So in spite when we are creating jobs, what do? Don't you pay the people?
Yes, nobody has a problem with the loan. So far, with all the issues that have come up.
What issues? Okay, tell me one of the issues. They talk about what? Processing.
Chairman,
let's get there.
Chairman, indulge me. Let me seek your indulgence. Nobody has actually spoken about whether there's a good intention behind this loan or not. But it's about the utilization of the proceeds. For instance, over $10.6 million, and there's no cedis, $10.6 million, the equivalent of our $50 million, is being spent on building what is called a farmer database. $10.6 million.
Where is it?
$200 million. If you have the report, the report prepared by the finance committee with the agri committee. Yes, this is very report. If you look at the utilization of the loan, it's there. The proceeds of the loan is there.
I'm coming.
Yes, that's it.
I'll show you here.
Yes, that's it.
Here the
farmer
component.
Database. Hand
pollination, farm irrigation, rehabilitation.
So hand pollination. How much is there?
Hand pollination, 68 million.
68. So I was even talking.
Yeah.
I was even.
No, but it's not 1 year.
Okay, so let's go to the farmer database, which
okay.
So of course, viewers, indulge me. It's $68 million.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said we should do with documents.
Yeah, so
that's why I'm putting all these documents. I don't want to take it from your head. So farmer database. You get something wrong.
Chairman, farmer
database. Yes. $10,688,000.
$6 million. So I was not quoting wrong figures.
For next what?
For For farmer database.
For how many years? You're not getting it.
Yes.
And please, how many farmers are in cocoa production?
Well,
you don't have the idea.
If we go to
there are more than 3 million farmers.
Okay. So if we go to the companies that buy the cocoa from them, can we not devise a much more innovative way of getting to know the farmers rather than spending 10.8 million cedis to create a farmer database when roads to these cocoa communities are very bad? Chairman, do you think this is the best way that we can utilize this cocoa, this loan that is even a loan that we are going from the African Development Bank?
Let me explain to you. Those guys at African Development Bank, you don't go there without proper justification, yes. They won't give you loan. Yeah. If they were not satisfied, if they were not convinced that the money that will be given to the government of Ghana is not going to be used wisely, they would not have approved this loan.
10.6 million for...
No, it's 600 million. That's a component. They show them. They approve it. You have to explain to them. You are taking this so much money. What are you going to do with the money? They justify it. And I'm going to justify why they need this, 10%. Yeah.
For farmer data?
Yes.
Why do you need that?
If you are going to to register farmers, okay, your first thing you need, identification of the farmers. You don't go around with pencil and paper marking trees.
There's also $200 million for the production of...
I'm excited. I'm excited.
For promotion of local...
Promotion and processing. Let's talk about... You see, all of us, including me and you.
200 can build...
Listen.
Can build new factories. New cocoa processing
Did they say they are not going to build factories?
They are going to...
Did they say that?
Did they
say that?
What we're told on the floor
Did they say that? Not everything.
It's going to be given to 4 companies.
You see, okay. I want to listen to you.
4 companies. WAMCO, CPC, Plot, and then another company. 4 are going to get this money. I think $50 million is going to go to each company. When we can be building new ones. Why? And even based on which criteria did we even select these companies to benefit from this loan agreement, from this largesse, if I may put it that way?
Unfortunately, I wasn't at that committee that very day. But as I sit here, I can say, without equivocation, that those companies need money to revamp their companies. They are dying. And somebody needs to inject them, to put injection in it. So if the government is going to give 50 million to Ghanaian-owned company, I'm all for it.
Why do we?
And beside that, I'm beside that.
Go and give to companies.
But after production, after you've done your pollination, after you've done your irrigation, after you've given them new ceilings, after they have done their mass spraying, okay, after they have done their pruning, after they have done their irrigation, what is going to happen? Production is going to go up.
That's $200 million.
Oh, listen.
Almost $1 billion.
Listen.
$1 billion Ghana cedis.
Listen. After I've done all those things,
Parliament wasn't told of the criteria, how they were selected. Is it private-public partnership? How are they going to pay back? All of these details.
They are going to use some of the $200 million to set up a factory. Have you heard? It's even in this budget that government is planning to set up a factory somewhere in Sefi.
You are saying it on record that it's going to be this $200 million is going to.
After giving some to the 4 companies, the remaining money will go into building a factory, a processing factory. We've said it in this year.
Okay, let's go to the promotion. The promotion, $7 million, and we hear about $5 million of that is going to go into chocolate for school children. What do you call it?
Do you know the number? Do you know the number of children? Do you know
chocolate?
Let me tell you, they are not going to buy chocolate. You don't get it. You see, you did not understand. I'm glad face to face. You need.
So let's
listen. Processing. After processing, we export our raw beans to countries like UK, Holland, US, China, and so forth. And the government felt it's about time we start processing the beans. When you talk about adding value, it's nothing than doing processing so that you make more money. Changing it from just beans, ordinary beans, raw material, and adding something to it through processing.
Now. That's
no, I'll get to consumption.
So let's not
I'm not. Listen. No, you talk about processing and promotion and all those things. It's involved, okay? After you have produced enough, you add value through processing. After processing, you think you should process your commodity. Mm-hmm. You yourself, you're not consuming your own product. You expect somebody sitting where in America to come and consume your product. So, we say we'll be targeting school children. What's wrong with that? We'll be giving them free drink, cocoa drink. Listen, do you know the number of cocoa children? Do you know the number of children attending school? Do you know the population? Population, children who are in school, going rich. Do you know? There are more than 7 million.
Is the best use of our
No. But so if you're giving cocoa drink to your children, it's not the best use. I don't need my age. I don't need it. In 15 or 20 years time, I'm not. I'll be alive. I'll be going. The children who are coming up, we should make sure they grow healthy. They have healthy body, and me, as I tell you, if I have problem with my health, heart disease. Cocoa is the best medicinal product. You know cocoa? Yes. It's medicine. Mm-hmm. Okay? So giving me cocoa or chocolate, even in most, those who travel, you only travel after eating, you go to a restaurant, what they give you dessert. It's nothing like cocoa, either cocoa drink or chocolate. They do some dessert and put it on it, like cake. You put chocolate on it. What is this? So if you are eating, what's wrong with that?
So for you, there's nothing
we are processing.
There's nothing wrong.
No, our main issue is processing, giving to people to drink. The remaining will be translating cocoa products.
Why are we taking a part of money meant for cocoa productivity enhancement and putting it into consumption and production, consumption and processing? Does that not defeat the purpose for which you are going for this trade finance facility?
You see, you didn't listen well. You see, pollination. But it's here. This component, okay, is here. This is for productivity and enhancement. Okay? All these itemized here, pollination, all these itemized here, farmer base, this is all part. These are all components. But after you have achieved that, you have enough cocoa beans in the system. What do? You process it, right? Mm-hmm. Don't you add value? After exporting, you process and you consume. Consumption, that's the output. That's the end result of the cocoa that you have earned. So you translate it into other areas, like processing and convert it into chocolate.
Okay. So for you,
but I want you to know that it's not 1 year activity.
It's for a period of time.
Yes, it's a period of time.
At least government has 3 years to draw on this loan, even though government has decided to draw it down in 6 months. But that's another issue.
No.
That's another issue the minority raised.
So can you draw? There's different drawing.
That's the argument.
Okay.
The government is going to draw down this money in 6 months, when the drawdown period is for 3 years.
But who told you? Okay,
that's the argument.
But there's some parts. No, put on a processing plant will not take 5 years.
So why does government want to draw down all the money in 6 months?
Well, areas where the government feels that it will go, he will use it.
Okay.
But taking chocolate, drinking cocoa product, drinking cocoa. How do you call cocoa drink or what?
Yeah,
yes,
drink.
Even chocolate drink. I can say chocolate drink. It's not going to be 1 year.
Okay, all right. So for you, there's every justification.
Look. You are also talking about warehouse capacity. After production, what do? You need a place to store your cocoa beans, right? And listen carefully, and I want everybody to listen carefully and listen well. When they talk about building a warehouse on farm, assuming they build one at my constituency, there's a place, it's a major small area around Kwama, it's called Bonkwaim. Yeah. That's where our cocoa comes from. If we build a warehouse there, the road network is very bad. So what you need to do to construct road to that, so that you can get to that warehouse. 2, if there's no electricity, you need to protect the cocoa. You need to put electricity there, right? If there's no water, you need to send water there. If the people staying there, they need a health post, you have to do that. So to me, you're not just going to put up a warehouse. Then you need construction of road to that place. It's a major component.
All right. Okay. So for you, there's every justification for how this.
But you said I should justify. We said we should justify.
What do you say to those who say that this is a way of securing campaign funds for next year for the MPP?
I will call it development fund. Development fund.
So this is not.
No. You listen to me. Development fund. If an enhancement, the cocoa farmer has got enough money. The country has been able to increase the population of cocoa. The output has gone up from 500,000 metric tons to say 1.5 million metric tons. That's the target. Yes, it means you've gotten more cocoa. Okay, so if the price goes up, inshallah, the farmers will be getting more money. So money has gone into the purpose packet. If a farmer was building one house, he has the opportunity to add additional house. If the farmer was spending, say, $2,000, now he has the opportunity to spend $4,000. Okay? So he not share. If the farmer is happy, and the things they say we cannot do, which is in this budget. You see, that's why you didn't get me when I was referring to the budget. This is what you said 2019, that we are going to do A, B, C, D. We've gotten the money to implement it. What do you think the farmer will say? You vote for MPP.
Okay, all right.
You've got enough money. Which party will you vote for? Would you vote for a party that was able to feed you?
Okay, all right.
You are buying more cloth. You are building more houses.
No.
I mean, so if they are saying they did not put it right, what they expect them to do? Now these people have delivered, so we are going to lose the elections. That's all.
We've been having a chat with him. He's been justifying why government needs the $600 million from the African Development Bank to enhance productivity in the cocoa sector. Honorable Akando, you're welcome.
Thank you, Duke.
Now, if Parliament or government secures $600 million for cocoa productivity enhancement, we for some time now the country has been trying to meet that 1 million metric tons benchmark. After we were able to do that in the around somewhere 2010, 2011, as from that time we've not been able to do it again. This should be good news, isn't it?
Look, I should be the first person to commend government for pumping money into the cocoa sector, if indeed it's going to serve its purpose, if indeed it is going to serve the good people of this country, if indeed it's going to have positive impact on the cocoa farmer, if indeed it's going to yield high tonnage of cocoa, or if you like, if it's going to bring about productivity, high productivity, why not? But as I speak to you now, the loan agreement that was submitted to Parliament and was approved yesterday, for me, was a deception. And as a cocoa farmer myself, and as somebody who represents cocoa farmers, my constituents are about 70% cocoa farmers. I am highly uncomfortable, and anytime I pick the loan agreement and I look at it, my heart bleeds. And I don't think that we can continue to do this to Mother Ghana. I believe that it's a strategy for government to get money for its campaign. Simple. Because if you look at the details, it is disheartening. It is disheartening. Duke, I have in my hand the report for the committee's report. The report we debated on the floor of the House. Now, if you look at the report, at the introduction, paragraph 1, it says that the long-term loan facility agreement between the government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Finance, Ghana Cocoa Board, that's Cocoa Board, and the African Development Bank for an amount of $600 million United States dollars for cocoa productivity enhancement program. for cocoa productivity enhancement program. Productivity. Mind you, if you talk about cocoa productivity, we are talking about the increase in yield on the cocoa farm. That is what we are talking about. This is different from cocoa processing. After getting the cocoa beans, you then have to process. That's another leg of it. Okay? That's probably, if you like, has nothing to do with the cocoa farmer. Okay? Now, if you come to paragraph 4.0, purpose of the facility. Again, the trade finance facility is to enable Cocoa Board to obtain funds from the African Development Bank to finance cocoa productivity enhancement programs with the aim of increasing Ghana's national output to an annual average of 1 million metric tons. So you get the idea, to increase. So this one should have a direct correlation with the farmer on the field. Okay? Now, if you come to the breakdown of the loan as approved, you realize that a whopping sum of $200 million out of the $600 million. And if you convert, it is more than 1 billion Ghana cedis. More than that. This money, and the caption is promotion of domestic processing. What has processing got to do with high yield on the cocoa farm?
When you produce the cocoa, you need a market for it to be able to process it. What prevents us from increasing the value along the value chain by processing it locally?
You see, let us not miss the argument. I am not saying that promotion of processing of cocoa is bad. That's not what I've seen. If you think that it is going to be included here, it should have been part of probably the agreement. It should have been part of, the heading, that this is what we are going to use it for. It should have been part of the purpose of the loan. The purpose of the loan, as I have read to you, is clear. No ambiguity whatsoever. You understand? Now, this has absolutely nothing to do with the processing. Okay? And even if it does, there are a lot of questions that government must answer. Where is the money going to?
I mentioned that about four cocoa processing companies, local processing companies for that matter, are going to benefit from this facility to expand and be able to increase the level of business that they do. It was said on the floor of the House.
What was the criteria? What was the criteria chosen? And do you know that we can establish a new factory by even $50,000 million? 50,000 new factory.
$50,000. What kind of factory? 50 million or 50,000?
Sorry, $50 million. A new factory. And again, what is the agreement? Is it PPP? Is it that we are going to dash it to the processing, the factories?
They are going to pay back.
How are they going to pay back? What is the interest rate? We are members of parliament. We must know. How are they going to? What is the criteria for choosing those companies? How are they going to pay back? In any case, when we have the production of cocoa itself declining, is it the best use of the money? And for your information, I have here the budget for 2018, and government indicated the budget estimate and economic policy for 2018 financial year. Paragraph 403, government indicated that during the 2016-2017 cocoa season, Cocoa Board purchased 969,000 metric tons of cocoa. This was submitted by the Akufo-Addo's administration. Now, in the cocoa industry, the cocoa year, we have the lower date and the upper date. So when they are stating the cocoa season, it's always two dates, 2016, 2017. As I speak to you now, we are in the 2019-2020 cocoa season. It means that the government in power as of 2019 is supposed to put every measure in place for this cocoa season. what it tells you is that the 2016-2017 cocoa season, everything was done by the Mahama administration. The cocoa price was struck by Mahama administration.
The same year where the cocoa syndicated loan, we were told that $20,000 was spent for the signing ceremony.
What signing ceremony?
The signing ceremony, which was done in France. It was here in Parliament. It cost $20,000.
You see, all the time when we are raising cogent issues, they attempt to save the goalposts. The ceremony or the procedure for signing the agreement for the syndicated loan has never changed. And I don't know which document they showed you, which indicate that
it was a document which came to the floor of the House. It cost $20,000 to sign the cocoa syndicated.
And I challenge anybody to produce the document for my own perusal.
Okay, so the point you are making is that it was the $960,000 was by the NDC government.
Fantastic, that's the point. So let's allow viewers to follow the argument. Now, what I'm seeking to establish is that the Mahama administration left 969 metric tons of cocoa for this administration. As I speak to you now, for the 2018-2019 cocoa season, we got to 750 metric tons. That's where we are. 50,000 metric tons. That's where we are now. Have you seen the drop? Now, every year, 2017, 2018, 2019, they tell us they are going to do artificial pollination. Pollination is supposed to increase yield. 2017, you did pollination. 2018, you did pollination. 2019, you did pollination. Meanwhile, we have seen and have established the decline in the yield of cocoa in this country. So you ask yourself, are they really doing pollination? It is one out of two things. It is either they are not seriously doing any pollination, or pollination is not a factor to increase yield, which of course I disagree. You understand? The reality is that if they have zoned the cocoa growing areas, in every zone, for example, in a district, consists of not less than 300 farms. In the 300, amongst the 300 farms, in a year, not more than 10 farms will be pollinated in a year. Meanwhile, these sums of money is being squandered in the name of pollination. Number two,
evidence to prove that they are being squandered.
Well, if you budget for pollination for a year, and I'm telling you that you cannot pollinate more than 10% of the total farms we have in this country, what are you using the money for? If you have any use for the money, or if you've used the money for any other thing, you can prove to me. You understand? In any case, I have my reservations about this pollination, the way they do it. People have been put on salaries and they go by 11 o'clock. Some even don't go to work at all, and they say they are doing pollination and they get paid. Look, farmers have expressed their opinion on this pollination. That, look, train us as farmers. Train our household. Let us do our own pollination. You understand? You see, before you do pollination, you need the flowers. You know, and if you have ever gone to cocoa farm before, the attachment of the flower to the cocoa tree is not that very strong. So the slightest wind, it blows away. And before you send a sizable number of people to a particular farm to do pollination, you must see a lot of flowers. You understand? But if you train the cocoa farmer, even if he sees one flower, he goes to the farm and he does his pollination. Value for money. You understand? So pollination, but we have not seen what pollination has done for us for the past 2-3 years. Now, as if that is not enough, if you go to pollination, I've indicated to you that they mentioned that they did pollination in 2017, 18, and 19. They are telling us in this agreement they are going to train about 20,000 people to do pollination, and they will need not less than almost 46 million US dollars. If you do the conversion, we are talking about more than 200 million Ghana cedis. The people they trained in 2017, are they all dead? The people they trained in 2018, are they all dead? The people they have already trained, where are they? Are they going to train them again? Is that the money we need? What kind of training are they going to go through? You understand? They need, and it's here, they need about 45.1 million US, which I've already indicated to you that if you do the conversion, it's more than 200 million US dollars. What kind of training? So they are hiding behind it. As I sit here and I'm taking you through these processes, I'm training you. So tomorrow, if they say they are finished training, what are you going to do?
I disagree.
A nice way of stealing the money. Very neat way of stealing the money.
Okay, but this point you are making, the agreement has already been passed. What would you have citizens? What would you have government do now? There's also even the question of some $5 million going into some school feeding program.
It's not that way alone. We have $10 million US, more than 50 million, $55 million US going to database of farmers. It's here. I'll show you in the report. This is what. That's why when I look at the agreement and I look at the report, my heart bleeds. It's here. It's here. Farmer database. You yourself mentioned the amount there. 10.6 million database. And you see, in the cocoa sector, farmers sell their cocoa produce to cocoa firms with passbook. Can't we easily track the number of farmers by even that one alone? I know there will be some kind of margin of errors. But do we need more than 55 million Ghana cedis to do a database? I have not finished with the pollination. Now come down, I'll show you why they are going to steal our money and use it for their own purpose, for campaign. We need, you are telling me, Duke, that Ghana, given the decline in production of cocoa, we need 55 million Ghana cedis to do a database. Are you not shocked that they tell us? And if you read the budget, every year they talk about artificial pollination. And if you like, I can read them to you. Every year, I have all the budgets here. They talk about artificial pollination. And you tell me that you are now going to train people for artificial pollination, 20,000 people. What goes into the training?
Okay. What will be your final comments as we wrap?
For me, I think that as has already been done, we always have our say, but they'll have their way. As you saw on the floor of the House the first day, when the speaker put the question by voice count, we insisted we wanted a head count. As of that day, we on the minority side were more than those on the majority. So they detected that if they put it into head count, we were going to carry the day. And so it was deferred till yesterday. And as you realize, it was pushed through. What can we do? At the end of the day, they will say, let's vote. But the people of this country, we are all accountable to you. The people of this country, we are all accountable to you. Be it the judiciary, the executive, and the legislator. We are all accountable to you. That is why sometimes we take the pain to debate issues like we are doing, to address issues like we are doing, because you are our masters. We are servants. So if somebody will go for $600 million US, and what they will use it for is to go and buy chocolate, for the purpose of loaning, going for a loan, and at the end of the day, we are going to use the loan. We are going to use more than 55 million Ghana cedis in the name of database in this country. It is disheartening, to say the least. And I agree with one of the journalists that Ghanaians, we are not angry enough. We must be angry. And take the advice given by the president, we must be citizens and not spectators. I believe that the Nana Addo Akufo-Addo government is taking Ghanaians for granted. We deserve better than this. If care is not taken now, we recorded the highest production of cocoa in the year 2016-2017. We have declined up to 750,000 metric tons. If care is not taken, I am afraid what we are going to record in the year 2019-2020 cocoa season. I'm afraid. And I don't see any development in any facet of the economy. If you go to the cocoa sector is on its knees. Even getting access, as I have already indicated, getting access to chemicals to spray the cocoa farms is a problem. As I speak to you now, the biggest firm that government had shares in is collapsed, PBC. It's gone. Cocoa farmers have their money with them. Some cocoa farmers have their money with them. It's gone. What are we doing to ourselves? What are we doing to ourselves? So, it's up to you, the people of this country, the people who promised heaven The people who told us we should give them their mandate and that they were going to govern well. This is how far they have come. Going for $600 million to buy chocolate, to establish a database, to loan it out to people that we don't know. What criteria we don't know. Even your representatives, we don't even know. You ask them and it provokes debate. And at the end of the debate, what it does is that let's put it to vote. That is what will happen. Some of us feel very, very, very disappointed about some of these actions and inactions. Very disappointed. As I speak to you now, go to my constituencies like Biaboso constituency, Bia West, Bia East, and go and look at the road for yourself. The road that is leading to the cocoa farms where we are pulling the cocoa beans from. In the wisdom of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we thought that the construction, the tarring of such roads will add to the development of this country. Since 2016, since 2017, contractors have let sight on the various projects. And nothing, absolutely nothing has been done. We are going for a loan to buy chocolate. Meanwhile, roads are completely cut off. We are going for a loan to buy chocolate. Is that what we deserve? Thank you.
So the issues there laid bare for you. We'll leave you to make your judgments. Is it right? Is it wrong for government to have gone for this loan? And of course, the utilization of the proceeds. That's a matter for you to digest. We'll be back from this break. This is The Chamber on Citi TV. Welcome back from that break to Duke's View, where I get to share my views on the major happenings in and around Parliament this week. Let me begin from the matter of the cocoa board loan, that's some $600 million contracted for the cocoa productivity enhancement program. $600 million was approved. Now, I think the majority did a disservice to the country this week with the passing of that loan without really looking into the concerns that the minority was bringing up. The minority's concerns were about threefold. Of course, it has been elaborated already in the course of this program. I want to say that it is for a good reason that our parliament is one that thrives on the building of consensus. It's for good reason. That's why our parliament thrives on the building of consensus. I think on this case, the consensus was missing, in the sense that the House was clearly divided, even to the point that for the first time, on the first day of the consideration of the agreement, the minority wanted to push for a division, but that didn't happen to the extent that it was deferred. Critical questions were being raised. Why is the government of Ghana, finance minister, and to a larger extent, government seeking to draw down on a 3-year facility all at once in the first 6 months? Questions have been asked about the use of some $10.6 million to create a farmer database, cocoa farmer database. Do we need that much to create that? Questions have been asked about the use of some $5 million for the purchase of cocoa products, chocolate, cocoa drink, others, under the school feeding program. Do we need to go and take a loan from the African Development Bank meant to enhance cocoa productivity to push it into school feeding for chocolate and cocoa drink, among others? I think these are some critical questions that the majority should have taken into consideration and at least get the finance minister to come and explain, and to a larger extent, Cocoa Board, to explain to the larger parliament and the larger populace exactly how they're going to utilize this loan in detail, not the bulk figures that were presented to the House. I think if that had been done, quite a lot would have been achieved by way of consensus building for the benefit of the Ghanaian public, for whose name, because the government of Ghana is guaranteeing that loan for the African Development Bank. That's what I would say by way of that. I think that the majority did the country quite some disservice with regard to the approval of this loan. On that note, we end this week's edition of The Chamber right here on Citi TV. Same time next week. Don't miss the program. Enjoy the rest of our program.